Mr. Karamjit Sir Bihola, who is founder Innodesk Design Innovation Services, Ahmedabad. And it's my great pleasure to introduce him. Mr. Bihola sir is a design thinker at mindset and an entrepreneur at heart, having master degree in mechanical engineering with specialization in product design from Stephen Institute of Technology, New Jersey, USA. Mr. Bihola sir is also working as an evangelist to develop, implement, and spread the awareness about the concept of design thinking, innovation, and entrepreneurship in higher education and corporates. He has mentored 2000 plus aspiring entrepreneurs and innovators, as well as 4000 plus faculty members from engineering and management domain. He has developed and implemented design thinking based curriculum. The three credit subjects named design engineering at GTU from 3rd to 6th semester across engineering disciplines at bachelor level. Mr. Bihola is also nominated as Mentor of Change for Atal Tinkering Lab at initiative of Atal Innovation Mission. He was instrumental in setting up Design Innovation Center hub and spoke model at GTU granted by MHRD. So today's title of session by the sir is Design Thinking, Ideation and Conceptualization. I request Mr. Bihola sir to start the session. Over to you, sir.
Uh, Thank you very much, Dr. Chetna, and thank you very much, Hardik sir, for inviting me here. And on this outset, I would also like to thank Anand Pharmacy College to taking this initiative of familiarizing all the stakeholders and faculty members of pharma domain for these best practices of innovation that industries and corporates are nowadays using. Am I audible, loud and clear? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Perfectly.
Okay. Great. Thank you. So with that, let me share my screen and not. Yeah. So. Yeah, presentation is visible?
No, sir. Can you stop? Okay, sir. Now it's perfect.
Yeah.
No.
No.
It is no. It is not presented yet.
Just let me share the entire screen there.
Okay.
I think now it should be there.
Yes, sir. Perfectly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So today's, as you all know, that we are discussing on design thinking approach, and as delivered by the eminent speaker before me, Mr. Rohit Swarup. Design thinking is an approach, is a methodology for the innovation, for conceptualizing ideas. He has also mentioned what is design thinking and why design thinking is required in pharma and healthcare domain. And he has given many ideas, as well as many examples he cited that is delivered through the design thinking approach. So in this second session, we are going to discuss about two phases of design thinking, which is ideation and conceptualization. And with that, our first part is ideation. So ideation is mainly the third step of the design thinking process. At GTU, as Dr. Chetna mentioned, we introduced design engineering subject, where ideation is the a third step, somewhere it becomes second or maybe fourth step, as you can see in the presentation of Rohit sir also. So in on the internet, if you Google it, design thinking process or steps, you would find lot many different steps or different model of the process, and as well as the definition, but all talks about the similar things that shown by Rohit sir, which is integrating desirability, feasibility, and viability through the process and tools of design thinking to get an experience innovation. As sir mentioned that today, nowadays we are not or any corporate or businesses are not only developing a product or services, they are developing a solutions or experience that your user or customer want. So user not only buying the product or services, but they buy the experience associated with it. It is product like a mobile phone, laptop, or a service like Ola, Uber, or nowadays we also get the medicines at the place, at the home. So pharmacy services on the mobile application. So businesses nowadays are developing the experience experience that their customer or user want or their stakeholder wants, and where this design thinking process helps us a lot. So in that context, let us start, and I'm going to get you through some of the tools and techniques of ideation, and the ideation process itself or ideation step itself considered as a magic a step for the entire innovation process or product development process, because where we find out the solutions, we ideate the solutions or ideas, and conceptualize towards the final product. So before the ideation till the definition of the problem, we only doing the things, and we only finding out the data, understanding the context, and understanding the users or stakeholders perspective. We are not thinking much in terms of solution, but when we enter into the ideation phase, it is now open to apply your mindset or your mind or ideas or experiences for solving that problem or situation. So with that, you have seen this in earlier presentation, previous presentation. This is the double diamond process. Let me hide this part. So this is the double diamond process or approach given by Design Council of UK, and it is saying that design thinking is iterative process. It is continuously divergent convergent modes of the steps. So we start with this trigger point where we find out the where we identify the problem or opportunity with the stakeholder, with the user. Then we go for the observation to understand the context and to understand the user. Through empathize, we find out lot many data. So at this point or at this juncture, we gather so many data, we research so many data point, and from that data point we define our problem statement. So where we are converging our data into a final problem statement. From the problem statement, we again diverge for finding out the solution. So this is the step of the ideation. So where we are diverging our mindset, where we are generating lot many ideas to our problem statement or to our situation, and from that again then we converse for conceptualization and prototyping and testing, and then we find out the solution. So this is the divergent convergent process, continuously iterative and experimental process of design thinking. So many times we wondered that why some people are creative and some are not, right? Some ideas are very successful and many ideas are failed, and the research is showing that 80 to 90% of startups or ideas are failing because of they don't find the right solution to the need, or they don't find the right need for the market. So is there any process, way, or thinking method? So we are discussing today design thinking, process, methods, or way or approach for finding out the successful solutions or innovative solution. And many of us think that creativity is gifted to few, because ideation is all about creativity. We are finding the solutions through the creativity. We are finding innovative solutions out of the box ideas, right? And many of us sometimes think, this is the taboo, that creativity, we are not creative, or everyone cannot be creative. And also this is how we also look our children, or sometimes students. As a faculty member, we also need to see that everyone is a born genius, and everyone can have that creativity. So that is why Albert Einstein said that I am neither clever nor specially gifted, but I am only very, very, very curious. So are we, as a faculty member, are we able to make our students curious enough so that they can learn and know about the things that they are studying in the pharmacy or healthcare, or any domain they are in, or any graduation they are in? So can we make our students or our children curious about the things happening around them, if we can generate this thing? So today the role of the teacher or faculty member is not to teach, right? It is to facilitate the learning. And that is why if we ourselves are curious in our domain, our field, then we can make our students curious. And curiosity, creativity follows the curiosity. This is the saying that creativity follows the curiosity. If the person is not curious enough, even if they are talented or curious, after some times they would not be the creative or more creative. So this presentation I would like to dedicate to Sir Ken Robinson, the great personality, author, speaker, and international educationist, who advocate creativity and imagination into the basic education. And he said that creativity now is as important in education as the literacy, right? So he just in August, on 21st August, he passed away. So this year, or this this entire thing, I would like to dedicate to him. And with that, if we see ideation, so it is like building a castle in the air, right? So ideation is all about imagination. It is coming up with the newer ideas. In observation empathy, we have seen that, or we have understood that we are going outside, talking to the people, finding the data points or interactive points, and try to understand their context. So it is all actual, it is all tangible, that we are seeing, we are discussing with them and understanding their context. But when we are in ideation, it is all about imagination. It is creating out of the box ideas, creative ideas. But there are some tools and methods, as I said, by the time, or with the time, we become less creative. But there are tools, and thanks to all the design thinkers or researchers like Sir Ken Robinson, IDEO people, Tim Brown, and other, Edward de Bono, they have given so many tools to ideate, so many tools to generate the ideas. Even if people are not more creative or less creative, with using that tools and technique, they become creative and they become more imaginative. So ideation is all about building a castle in the air, and conceptualization is bridging that castle with the reality, or with the land. So with these two steps, from identifying a problem to the solution, with these two steps are very important, and are the magical steps where we are actually generating ideas, and then through the conceptualization, through the applying the constraint, we are delivering the final solution, or deriving the final solution. So as I said, ideation is creative process of generating ideas, and many ideas. Ideation is not about generating right ideas. As much as possible ideas you can generate, it would be a better for ideation steps. So some of the characteristics or some of the aspects that we need to consider into our mind while we are in the ideation phase, ideation step, is the open mind to generate the ideas, as well as to listen the ideas. Because ideation, when we are doing in the group, people are more tend to, at the very initial stage, people are more tend to oppose some of the ideas. So we need to be open minded to generate the ideas as well as to listen to them. Spontaneity, it is spontaneous process. Curiosity, as I said, it is a co-creation process. So when we are co-creating and collaborating with others, not only our team but maybe stakeholders, maybe our as in the pharmacy, or as we are in the healthcare, with the medical practitioners or medical students, as well as our vendors also. So when we are co-creating the solution, it becomes more innovative and more out of the box, because these all people will bring their own expertise, experience and knowledge. Quantity over quality is the main mantra in ideation. In initial phase of ideation, when we are diverging, as I shown to all of you, the double diamond process, when we are from the problem statement, when we are diverging our ideas in the ideation process, quantity is more important than the quality, right? And when we are entering into the conceptualization phase, concept generation phase, quality will be considered through some of the constraint and boundary conditions. Judgment free environment. In ideation process, you need to create the judgment free environment. You are not judging the idea. You can block, you can say, you can sometimes you can defer the judgment, but you cannot block the ideas, right, of the others. Also, combine and define mindset is also required to select the good ideas from so many quantities of idea generated. So let's have some creative warm-up exercise for our ideation process. This will be also a hands-on session, and I'm sure that you must have pen and pencil and paper with you. So normally, so in ideation, people use brainstorming mostly, and in brainstorming, though it is a structured process, people use it unstructured way, and that is why most of the time through the brainstorming or group brainstorming, people would not gather so many ideas or innovative ideas. It is because we are not tend to work with this process tools, and we are not sometimes creative, or we don't know the tools and technique, and that is why we just gather, we brainstorm. We are not sometimes also in meetings, we are not in corporate meeting also, sometimes they are not writing down the ideas, so they forget after the things. So if we use some of the creative warm-up exercises before we enter into the ideation steps, we train ourselves and train our mind towards the generating lot many ideas. So let's begin with that one first exercise or first tool. So this is the word association or flower association tool called word or flower association. So what we need to do is, with this one word, you need to create as many as possible associated word with it. So at the center, of the flower, you need to put the word called book, and on the leaf or petals, you need to write down the associated word related to book, without thinking much, spontaneously, as much as you can write. So we have a 30 seconds. Let's do fastest finger first, or T20, not T20, T55 something. Because of lack of time, we are not giving much time, but can you write down the word associated on your page, word associated with the book? And let me see the screen, chat box. So first you write down on your page for a 1 minute. Yes. Yeah. So people are writing in the chat box also. Chapter title, compendium, knowledge, students, teachers. Yes. Page number, index, references, index, pictures, library, index, author, reader. Okay, very good. What else? So what else you can write down? Preface, information, cross indexing, title of the book, knowledge. Very good, very good. Publisher, interest to read. Very good. Content of the book, trees. Okay, very good. So so there could be many possible answers, and that is what I would like to tell you here by this small exercise is there is no right answer, right? So in design thinking there is no right or wrong answer, and that is what I think in the initial period, initial presentation, Rohit sir also mentioned that in design thinking there is no right or wrong answer. Design or in a design there is no right or wrong answer. It is all about good or bad design. If it is good design for your product, service, or experience that you would like to create, it goes through the market. If it is bad design, you can always have a chance to iterate it, refine it, and change it to the perspective of the user or market. So that is where the prototyping and testing phase would play a role. So in the next session you also learn about prototyping and testing. With that, let me again share my screen. You can do exercise on internet also with the word and flower association after this session. So with such kind of small exercises before starting the ideation step, you can generate lot many ideas, and you can open up the mindset of the people or team members in your project or in your problem. And all of sometimes what happen is, when we, as I said, it is a co-creation session in design thinking, and when you invite some outsiders, right, they feel they feel shy, or they are not opening up. So with such kind of small exercises which are not related to your project or problem statement even, you can open up their mindset and you can involve them. So it is like ownership of the project, right? So they also feel they also should feel the ownership. When your students, if you can also inspire your students to feel owner for their project, right, they will do a much better work in their project. So we need to be, but we need to be the spontaneous. It is not you only need to give like 1 minute for this exercise or maximum 2 minutes for this exercise. Whatever ideas they would have, they would write down in the on the paper. And while writing down the idea, while doing the ideation process, right, or steps, we are not thinking about the feasibility. We are not thinking about the sometimes cost, time, or other constraint. So in ideation, so ideation is free from the constraint and as I said, judgment free environment. So you need to be spontaneous. But we sometimes, and most of the time, we as I'm an engineer, then turn into a designer, and now entrepreneur. So before that, we also most of the time people are critical thinkers, right? We also think critically. We find out the problem, think about the solution, and delivering it to it, right? So, and 90 to 95% of the startups as well as academic project work in this fashion. They find out the problem, they have solution in the mind, and they develop that solution. So they go in a linear fashion, step by step process, or in a linear fashion. But and this is because of our formal education system, because what we learn this critical thinking in our formal education system is teacher comes to the class, they teach the students learn that, mug up the concept, and write down the exam, and through the grade we evaluate their intellectual or their learning, right? And So when we have the problem and we only think in a linear fashion, we always think through the critical thinking. Sometimes critical thinking is also required, but in creative thinking, we need to focus on exploring new ideas. Not only one idea, but exploring new ideas, generate more possibilities, and look for many right answers, right? So it is not about the generating one solution or one ideas. It is generating lot many possibilities, lot many ideas, which is creative thinking. And in design thinking, we use both of them, critical thinking as well as creative thinking. So ideation first part, initially when we are focusing on quantity over quality, it is creative thinking where we are diverging our horizon for the ideas, which is used which use the right side of the brain. And when we are conceptualizing using some of the constraint and boundary condition, when we use left side of the brain, and when we use the critical thinking and decision making tools, right? So in design thinking, both the side of the brain are used simultaneously and developed or nurtured. So that is why, and this is the research shows that the person who use both side of the brain, left and right side of the brain, simultaneously and in their processes, they are the more creative and genius person. So no wonder how, you know, Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs are more creative or genius person, because they are using their both side of the brain, creative thinking as well as critical thinking. Most of the people, normally 90%, use the critical thinking while doing their work or project or any, you know, product development thing. So with that, creative thinking or ideation is a way of looking at the problems or situation with very different perspective, with fresh perspective, right? Which suggests the unorthodox solution, which is not the traditional, right? It is out of the box thinking, out of the box methodology. And for that we use you know, structured as well as unstructured tools like brainstorming, lateral thinking, and other tools that I will show you. And I got this through one of my WhatsApp status, and you know, it struck me that you know, when we are creative thinker, when we are using, you know, creativity or ideation tools and technique, we become more out of the box thinker, creative, and we look the things in a very different perspective. It is not about looking the things in only one direction. And that is where we need to, from starting from our childhood, from our, you know, primary education to graduation, we need to change our education system with creative thinking, creative you know, this innovation processes. And thanks to AICTE as well as new education policy, that they are trying to now implement this creative thinking, problem solving, imagination, and design thinking even as a subject and as a academic practices. In CBSE, they have launched design thinking as a subject in 11th standard. GTU is also using this in engineering, and so many pharmacy colleges and universities are now applying design thinking for you know, educating their students. Nurturing creativity requires ecosystem. It is not by one or two tools, and if you learn one or two tools, you would become creative, or you would become more imaginative and generate innovative ideas. It is the entire ecosystem, how you place the things in your school, college, or in your university or a company. And through that, and it is not a one day or overnight you know, process or achievement. It is like the journey that you know, that will give you better results if you practice a lot, right? As Rohit sir said, it is about practicing, it is about doing the things. So it requires the ecosystem of unique pathways to learning, understanding that one size does not fit all, right? As I said, through grading only or through mark only, if we are judging the students' intelligence, it will not help them. Encourage of experimentation, right? So experimentation, if even they are failing in their project or ideas, can we encourage them right, to iterate the process. As I said, design thinking or design is not about right or wrong things, or it is about the iterations, experimentation, comfort with ambiguity, uh, discovery and just for discovery and innovation, and strong and resilient work ethic. So these all things required to build an ecosystem for nurturing creativity. Now, before I move on to the tools and techniques of ideation, let me clarify these three terms, and I would have ask you about these three things, but to save time, let me explain that. So, what is creativity, invention, and innovation? So, creativity is all about looking at the things differently with the fresh perspective, right? It is not always about finding out the new things. Finding out the new things is all about invention, but creativity is looking the things differently, situations, environment, products, services, problems in a very different way. It is we call it a creativity. Invention is finding out the solution for any specific problem in a newer way, in a much more innovative way. But innovation, so now you all must wondered that then what is innovation. So innovation is finding out the solutions or creating ideas, and implementing those ideas to create an impact. So innovation, most of the time when we are doing academic project, our 90 to 95% of the projects are or research papers are laid down into the laboratories or in the thesis book, right? They are not implemented to create an impact, and that is why people are not believing those ideas or product or service or any thesis innovative. Because innovation, when we talk about innovation, and when innovation innovation award happens or innovation competitions happens, they have this certain criteria that should innovation is a unique or novel, it should have impacting a mass of the people or society or market or any particular industry or segment. It should have a very different way of doing or creating the ideas. So when we talk about innovation, it should be creating the unique or novel ideas, converting them into the impact. So there are three terms: creating a unique ideas, converting them, transforming them with the impact, right? So impact is more important in the innovation. So what is innovation? Innovation is nothing but a new idea which is a novel combination of existing idea. Now pick up any innovation that you believe, whether it is a product, service, experience, systems, or anything, right? So any innovation that you believe that this is the innovative product or service or artifact in that term, and if you see that it is the novel combination of existing ideas. For example, smartphone, right? So smartphone is, we call it an innovative product, but it is the existing. So camera or internet or other things that are into the smartphone nowadays, right? They were there before the smartphone came, but they have combined in it in a novel way that we call it an innovation. So normally when we say innovation is a new idea, novel idea of the unique combination of the existing ideas. So if we focus on this aspect or this definition, then for our academic project, for our students project, they can, because sometimes when we say innovation, people think that it should be completely new things, unique things, out of the box thing. It should be, our aim should be there. But if we also improve on the existing things, if we also combine some of the existing ideas and convert into the certain product or services that can impact the things, or impact that can have the impact value addition, it also should be the innovation, and that need to be considered for the startup areas or startup things. So there are some of the tools that we are going to discuss for ideation. These are some of the tools that I am going to I'm showing to you. Brainstorming, mind map, divergent and lateral thinking, picture or word association, scamper, checklist thinking, metaphors and analogies, six thinking hat, randomization or force connection, and many more. There are there are more than 300 tools and techniques available for ideation. It is not only one or two or three. If you go on internet, you would find there are more than 300 tools and technique for ideation or idea generation. We would discuss on brainstorming, as I thought it is very easy, and some of the things that we need to consider, or ground rules that we need to consider for better brainstormings are, we need to stay on the topic. So when we are brainstorm or having the brainstorming within our team members, we always need to stay on the topic. Normally people go off the topic and discuss very random things on the brainstorming session. Allow one conversation at a time. Only one person should speak if we are doing group brainstorming. Go for the quantity first initially, then the quality. Headlines or be visual. Try to write down it into a headline, one or two or three, maximum 3 keywords, or be visual. Try to draw rough sketches. Welcome wild ideas, as much as possible wilder ideas. Defer judgment, but no blocking. You cannot block, you can always defer judgment. Build on ideas of others. So when one person give an idea, you should build on that ideas, right? And further on, likewise, every team member should build. So there is also a various different brainstorming techniques. Brainstorming techniques within that tool, which use this kind of build on ideas of other things, and combine and define ideas. So if we follow these ground rules during the brainstorming technique, we can generate a very good and innovative solutions at the end of the sessions. And also with that, we also need to write down or note those all ideas, record all those ideas for further evaluation while we are conceptualizing the theme. So with that, I'll give you this small exercise for brainstorming, that ways of physical distance at public places during this COVID-19. This you can do after the session. You can also brainstorm on your topic that you have taken into first, problem statement that you have taken in first session. So you can also brainstorm on that. You can also form a team of people around you or in this FDP and brainstorm with them for particular situation or problem. Second tool is a mind mapping. So mind mapping is also a very good a tool for ideation, where it gives you a very structured as well as free flowing way of ideation, where you in the center of the page you write down on the bigger sheet, in the center of the page you write down your problem statement or theme or any situation that you are struggling with, or your goal to achieve into the ideation session. From that you generate major branches, you generate major bucket where you write down your ideas. For example, if let's say for example I have to plan my, so mind mapping is not only a design thinking tool, it is more generalized tool where you can also plan your session, your lecture, your any workshops or events, or you can plan your financials, you can plan your entire year planning. You can also during a empathy phase or defining phase, after collecting so many data from the observation or empathy step, you can put all the data in the mind map way. So you can generate or you can define the or select the right problem statement. So it is not only ideation tool, it can be used in various ways. So if for example, very generic example, for example, if I have to plan this session, so design thinking session at Anand Pharmacy College, so I would write down why I need to, so major branch one will be the why I am delivering this session. So in Y part, it is like explaining design thinking, why design thinking is important, and why design thinking is important in pharma, right? Then second is what kind of tools and techniques I would be using, what kind of third would be the what kind of examples and case studies I would be using, and how I would, fourth part will be how I would be delivering the session. So it would be like mind map, or I mean mind tree, where you are putting your all ideas, but it is in a similar bucket, or similar with the similar characteristics you put in one bucket or one group, right? So with that you select then whichever the good or promising ideas are that at the end of the ideation session for conceptualization. The next tool is lateral thinking. Sorry, we are going a little bit faster, but all this presentation and recording will be with you, so you can apply these tools and technique for your problem statement or for your project. So lateral thinking, I would request all of you to do this exercise on a paper. Some of you might know this exercise. So on a piece of paper, draw these 9 dots as shown in the paper, screen. The challenge is to connect each of the dot with 4 straight line, right? So you need to connect all these 9 dot with 4 straight line, and each dot must be crossed once, but not more than once. And you cannot leave the pencil from the paper once you have started. So once you start your exercise, you cannot lift your pen or pencil. You need to connect this all 9 dot with 4 straight line. So let's again give 30 seconds to do that. And once you are done, you can also show to the turn on your camera and show to the people. So okay, what is the time? Yeah. So let me show you a small video on lateral thinking, and then I'll show you the yeah. So lateral thinking is also called out of the box thinking, the Apple way. They are also saying that the Apple way, because Apple thinks differently than their competitors. So lateral thinking is all about coming up with as many as possible newer and different ways, right answers. It is not only about one right answer, right? So lateral thinking is not about coming up with only one right answer. It can be a lot many different answers to that. And so that if you go out of the box, if you think out of the box, you can find the solution to this kind of puzzle, or for the very complex problem of our life and our surroundings. And in especially in healthcare, like the example shown by Rohit sir of the General Electric's that MRI machine, right? It is completely out of the box idea that for MRI machine you could imagine that a completely adventurous story for the kids, so that they are not being scary while being treated through the MRI machine. So when we go out of the box, we can find out the innovative ideas or creative ideas for our problem or situation. But normally, why we can't think out of the box is because we always think, or we always imagine this imaginary boundary around our context or our problem, or for specifically of this example, this 9 dot, we always imagine a imaginary boundary. Though it is not there, we imagine that there is a boundary, and we just need to think into that constraint. So that is why before we apply constraint and boundary conditions to our ideas for conceptualization, in the ideation process, it is all about imagination, free flowing of ideas, judgment free environment, open mindedness, and with curiosity and co-creation, we can generate many ideas. So if you are as sir said, quantity during the observation and empathy phase, and you need to interview or observe so many stakeholders in ideation phase also. If you can generate many ideas, not only 1, 2, 10, 15, but maybe 50, 100 or 200 ideas for particular problem or solution, so that you have a range of ideas to select good ideas from that, or good right solutions from that. So these are some of the lateral thinking techniques, like alternatives, where you are using alternatives. So if I would say think alternative use of pen, right? So people would say many alternative uses of pen, and if I would say alternative uses of brick, right? So you would have many ideas for brick. Then focus challenges, random entry. So randomization or forced connection is a very good tool in lateral thinking, where again, back to the GE MRI machine solution, they have connected that adventurous idea or adventurous spark theme, or mindset of the or metaphor to this problem of MRI machine, and through randomization, through force connection, they have come up with the out of the box ideas. Provocation and movement harvesting and treatment of ideas, these are some of the lateral thinking tools and techniques that people use for coming up with out of the box ideas. So we are not going to detail to everything. Ideation is not about coming up with the right idea. So at the end of this first part of ideation, I would say that ideation is not about coming up with the right idea. So as I said, it is not about right or wrong idea. It is about good or bad idea, right? Right now also in the solution, right now also in the initial phase of ideation, we are not also judging and making decision about bad ideas. So we welcome all the wild, bad, even good ideas, collect all the ideas, refine them, and further applying the constraint in conceptualization to coming up with the newer solution. It's about generating the broadest range of possibilities. Yeah. So with that, first part of the session is complete here. Now we see how concept generation works, and how we can generate any concept, and what are some of the characteristics or things that we need to keep into the mind, and tools and techniques for concept generation that we use normally in the design thinking. So concept generation is from, so in the ideation session, we generated broadest range of possibilities, broader range of ideas. Then we select good ideas, and from good ideas to concept, through conceptualization tools and technique, we generate the final concept or final solution. So the concept should achieve or should be able to solve the problem, right? Our concept. So when we are conceptualizing, when we are generating our concept, our solution, we need to keep in the mind that what our understanding for our problem, what our user or stakeholders need or pain points are there, what their aspirations and perceptions are there for the problem or for the situation, and we need to generate the concept that should be able to solve the problem with the relevance to that context and add the value to our stakeholders or customers. Other practical features like feasibility, scalability, and business model also will follow afterwards through the concept generation. Yeah. So with that, as I shown in the initial presentation, that after this ideation process, concept generation is the convergence of the ideas through applying constraint or boundary conditions to that. So design thinking, initially when we follow design thinking process or any product development process, or when we are doing any product development project, normally at initial phase we are in the uncertain phases. We don't know where we are heading, where we are going. We are just collecting the data, we are finding out the patterns and insights, we are trying to define the problem, then we are trying to generate so many ideas, and we don't have any clarity or focus towards our final solution. But when we are in the conceptualization, it slowly and gradually clarifies the process, and then after the conceptualization and prototyping, it gives you a clarity and focus with the help of iterations and experimentations based on the feedback of the users and stakeholders. Yeah. So then innovation becomes very clear and focused things, but at initial phase, and that is why this I said that nurturing creativity is also having a comfortness in that ambiguity. So your students or yourself do not will not be put the process or project aside if you are not finding the solutions or clarity in initial phases, right? It will be there, and it is a roller coaster ride of things while we are developing any product. So with that, when we are conceptualizing, when we are generating the concept from lot many ideas generated through the ideation process, we need to consider the exclusion and inclusion criterias, right? So for example, if our need statement or problem statement is reducing accidents and casualty due to the accident in the city area, right? For example, in Ahmedabad or in Anand city, we are trying to reduce the accident or the injuries due to the accident. So we are trying to preventing the accident. Our focus should be preventing the accidents, reducing probability of the accident, reducing injuries due to accidents, and quick detection of accident. If something happens there, can we identify and quickly detect the accidents and send medical team to there or take that person to the hospitals. So these are some of our boundary conditions, or these are some of the need statement that we are trying to focus. So what are the exclusion criteria which we are not focusing while we are developing the concept, right? We are not considering, because all of the things you cannot consider in the entire domain. There are lot many people, there are lot many things, there are lot many situations and processes are happening. So you cannot focus each and every step of each and every aspects of the problem statement. So you need to focus very specific need, very specific pain points, very specific stakeholders or group of people, and the happenings and situations in your domain. So you need to exclude some of the criteria and you need to include some of the criteria. So for this example, maybe hit and run, drink and drive, accident at night. Right now I am not focusing on that. In the initial phase of my product development or solution development, I am not focusing on hit and run cases while reducing the accident, right? I am not considering drink and drive cases. I am not considering accident at night, right? I am only focusing accident happens during the daytime. So right now I am excluding these criteria. So then my concept from the many ideas, maybe 500 ideas my team have generated, from that I could consider 100 ideas which are excluded from these criteria. And then I include some of the criteria. I would include like overspeeding, I would include the overspeeding, I would include the non-working traffic signals for my reducing accident need statement or problem statement. So these criteria I would include, and some of the criteria I would exclude. So it becomes more clear when I generate my concept. And it is, but what are the exclusion and inclusion criteria? It is based on your empathy and insights from your user or stakeholder. It is not that I willing to do that, it is because of the people have given me that insights. It is based on my empathy with the people or with the government or with the entire ecosystem, right? So it is based on, it should be based on our empathy and insights from the user. So after the ideation stage, when we generated the ideas, there are many things that you need to consider, like technical feasibilities, market opportunities, competitions. So all these, some of the aesthetics and ergonomics, as someone mentioned that aesthetics or outer look for the product, business or cost restrictions, quality and reliability, value creation, execution, and scalability. So all these criteria I also need to consider, right, when I am developing a concept. So, but before that, before the concept selection or conceptualization phase, I'm not considering all these things. I was only creating my castle on the air, right? So castle, when we are creating castle, it should be a best out of the our experience or our imagination, right? But when we try to conceptualize, we are trying to bridge that castle with the land or with the reality. So that bridge would be these constraints and these boundary conditions. We are not narrowing down too fast, right? It's a gradual process. So from 500, you are not directly coming up 10 ideas which you like. You would take each and every ideas and evaluate against those constraints and boundary conditions. We are don't immediately worry about the feasibility or scalability, right? And discuss about these ideas with your team. Whatever the ideas generated during the ideation phase, you need to discuss with your team, so that if they are excited, surprised, or curious about those ideas, and those ideas would be a wow moment or wow ideas, or experiential innovation, it become experiential innovation for your customers or for your stakeholder. So the process of conceptualization look like this. During ideation, we generate many ideas, then we collect, categorize, and refine some of the ideas through the saturate and grouping. So with some of the constraint, with some of the categories, with some of the similarities of the ideas, we categorize them, we group them, saturate them, and then we select as per our other constraint and final solution. So from that, from the ideation to concept selection, this process looks like this. And as Charles Ames, a very early design thinker, or very eminent design educationist, said that design depends largely on constraints. So these are some of the constraints that we need to follow: cost, budget, or time, quality, compliances and environment, specifically in healthcare and pharmacy, domain, processes and operations, as well as performance, usability, compatibility, efficiency, technology, material, logistics, safety, ethics, and so on, right? There are many constraints based on your idea, based on your problem statement, or based on your project you need to apply, right? And all the constraints are from maybe the company or domain you are working with, hospital you are working with, from the stakeholders, or from the empathy insights you have developed or you have gathered. So there are many constraints that you have to work during conceptualization. And this is the tool for conceptualization that we use normally, which is called Now, Wow, How Matrix, where it is your ideas are separated or evaluated based on these two types of things on the x and y axis. Normal ideas versus original and out of the box ideas, and easy to implemented versus difficult to implement. So whatever ideas are normal and easy to implement will be now, so you can immediately work on those ideas, do the prototype, and you can work on that. But the better and the innovative experiences would be created through wow moment, where your ideas are original, ideas are new, and also easy to implement, or easily you can have the feasibility of those ideas. And the ideas which are difficult to implement but original, you need to find out the ways of doing it, maybe through research and development. Later on, after sometimes, if you are working for a better, a bigger company like Pfizer or other big pharmaceuticals and healthcare companies, you can always do R&D and find out how we can implement those ideas. So now how Matrix works on that, and those ideas are difficult to implement, and maybe normal ideas you can keep aside, like impossible to implement, keep aside, and later on you can also work on that. But normally this part, wow and now, right, we can work immediately, and we should work on wow ideas where the on these sections where ideas fall into the wow quadrant. This is another matrix called criteria weightage matrix. Based on your criteria, based on your constraint for the activities or for the ideas, you can weight them against the weightage, and you can create the criteria weightage matrix for every concept 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever you selected from the other tools and technique, and you can rank them and select the best ideas that work for you or work for your problem statement, right? So this is the criteria weightage matrix. Both are given in the D School, Stanford D School bootcamp. Now at the end, we are now approaching towards the end of our session. So at the end, I would like to give you some of the insights on where does good ideas come from, where we can find out good ideas. So good ideas not coming from inside us or from individual's head, right? It is come from outside, specifically when we are working in co-creation, when we are having the social interactions, when we are talking to the people, when we are interacting to them. So that is why team building or co-creation is more important. It is also come from observation and constant practicing of the ideation tools. So that is why you all need to practice these all tools constantly with your students, with your academic project or professional assignments, and that is why in short, ideas can come from anywhere. And that is why all designers or innovators or creative people keep a design diary or a small booklet with them where they write down all these ideas, so that you are not forgetting or you are not missing some of the ideas. And later on, based on applying these tools and technique, they would develop those ideas. And this is the good book that you can read by Steven Johnson, Where Good Ideas Come From. So this is the book where he has mentioned all these ways of generating a good ideas, right ideas. So observe your surrounding and identify the opportunities, and that is why observation and imagination plays a vital role in design thinking, in innovation or creativity. We don't get innovation at a gunpoint, right? So innovation or creativity or design thinking is a practicing, it is doing. It is not that 1 or 2 tools or 3-4 days of workshop that we have done for particular problem, we will become innovative and we'll get innovations every time when we want to, right? It is a continuous practice, and it is continuous efforts that you put with using all these tools and techniques of design thinking, of ideation, and that's how you become more innovative or creative. And Albert Einstein said, creativity is intelligence having fun. If you are not enjoying the process, you are doing it wrong, right? So all these tools are very fun loving. When you work with bigger chart papers, sticky notes, and all these, it's all about fun. And even as Dr. Modi said that, mentioned that I have trained more than 4,000 faculty members, and 500 to 600 are PhD, having 10 to 15 years of experience, and even they enjoy this process a lot. When they come to 4 days of my workshop, they enjoy it a lot, and then they behave like a small kid, right? And that is where all this process teaches with all these fun and game based exercises. After the ideation, after you you generate many ideas, what next? Because generating an idea is a half of the story, right? So you need to become a maker. You become a thinker, but you also need to become a maker for converting yourself into an innovator. So if you want to nurture your students, your kids into an innovator or entrepreneur, they also need to think as well as make the things, implement the things. As I said, innovation is all about implementing creative ideas into an impact. If it is not implemented, it is not innovative, right? People would not consider it innovative because वो market में ही नहीं आया है, right? So that is why if thinking is 10%, making is or implementing is 90%, and that is why 90% of the academic projects are not into the market or in converting into a product, because we are not making it, we are not implementing it. So with this session or with this design thinking process, you need to implement all those solutions, whether it is small or big or any idea. If you implement it, you always can iterate it, right, and make it better. So with that, at the end, today's our India, our nation is saying us to innovate, to grow, not only to survive. Survival बहुत हो चुका है. Now for new India, for Atmanirbhar Bharat, or self-reliant India, becoming a self-reliant India, we need to innovate to grow. And for innovation, creativity, design thinking, and problem solving would be most important skill sets that our students, our young graduates would acquire. And with that, these are some of the key takeaways for the session. So creativity is not a gifted one. It is innate talent of all of us have, can be nurtured and developed with continuous practice. Creativity focuses, or ideation focuses, on exploring ideas, generating possibilities, and look for many right answers. Creative thinking is a way of looking at problems or situations from a fresh perspective. Ideation is not about coming up with the right idea. It is about generating a broadest range of possibilities. Good ideas come from social interaction, observation, and constant practicing of ideation tools. And concepts should solve the problem with relevance to the context and add value. So concept, while conceptualization, while delivering our solution or product development, we also need to see what we have achieved, what we have understood through the context of our observation or empathy phase, and then we need to add value through value proposition, through business model to our solution, so that it would impact the people, it would make money for us into the market. Yeah. And with that, I would rest here the session. Thank you very much, all of you, and I hope that it is as per the time. Any questions or any your views, discussion point, if you would like to? We have still 5 minutes, and we are we are on social media, so you can follow and interact with me for further explanation, or for any of your, this is open invitation, as sir said. So our team will definitely happy to support your ventures or your ideas or academic project. So thank you very much. With that, over to you, ma'am, or Hardik sir, if there are any questions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for informative and fruitful session. and nicely explained that how to make our idea viable, and sparing your precious time with us. One question
Yeah.
is from our delegates. Sir, in one slide you have discussed about the exclusion and inclusion criteria.
Yes.
That is for the need of statement.
Yeah.
So one of our delegate asked that is there any experimental studies are required for this criteria?
Experimental studies means, ma'am? Can you explain that?
Um,
So, I mean,
like suppose we are working on any project like any dosage form or formulation
hmm.
development,
Okay.
then
So, as I said, inclusion and exclusion criteria comes from your problem statement itself. So, see, design thinking works in a both ways, where you are not having the so in academically or in a theoretical way. When we ask students to find out the problem, we ask them to go with the very blank mind or beginner's mindset. And it is about they don't know anything about the problem. So it works in a both ways, where you don't know about anything about the problem, and also it works when you have problem beforehand. So in consulting work or in corporate world or in real practice, when we work on any project or for any development of a product or service using design thinking, we know some of the problem statements, we know some of the things beforehand. But to identify the right problem and to find out the right solution, we go back to our customer, we go back to our stakeholders, and observe them, understand them in their real environment. So that normally what happens in when we are doing consulting work in design thinking, people comes to us, those who are running industry for 20 years, 30 years, and they say that this is our problem. And if we as a design thinker, as an innovator, if we blindly follow them, sometimes we, or most of the times, we ended up with the wrong solution. And that is what critical thinking or linear thinking do, right? So critical thinkers do, when they have a problem, they identify the solution, or they think of the solution and they develop the solution. But as a design thinker, we need to find out we need to find out the real problems or real pain points of the user, market, or situation, and identify the opportunities to deliver the solution. So when we talk about the internal the exclusion and inclusion criteria, it is from the problem statement itself, it is from the client itself, or situation itself, right? That these are some of the criteria that you need to follow. For example, if my client would say that I have this problem, but it need to be solved in a particular time, it need to be solved in a 3 months of the 3 months. For example, during this pandemic, we are trying to solve it as soon as possible. The vaccine we are trying
yes,
to
yes.
develop as soon as possible. So
Hmm.
time become the inclusion criteria, right?
Okay,
But
yes.
money for a vaccine, money will not become the money will become maybe the exclusion criteria for the WHO or for the bigger multinational companies. They are not
Yes, sir.
focusing on the money. They would give complete freedom to their R&D people or their scientists, that you should spend as much as money, but
Yes,
you need to complete this project or coming up with the vaccine as
yes.
soon as
They
possible.
they will not
Yeah.
they will not think about the expenditure what it is
Yes,
behind.
yes.
Yes.
So
Okay.
that why that's why this exclusion and inclusion criteria comes within the problem statement, and by understanding of the context. Sometimes what happen is, when you go initially your client will say money will not be the problem, but as you go through the process, as you go through the context and opportunity, and if your client would find that this opportunity is not that much big, they will say, okay, this kind of that much money I will spare, or
Okay.
they will also extend the time. So it is based on so that is why during till the ideation phase, we are not thinking about the constraint, exclusion or inclusion constraint. But while we are conceptualizing, while we are developing our product, right?
Mm.
We need to consider those constraints. So I think through the experimentation, through the research, also you need to see some of the constraint. I'm not familiar with the all healthcare and pharmaceutical constraints, and that is why I said compliances or environment will be the constraint for healthcare and pharmacy domain, and that is why prior art search is also important. So before I have skipped that slide because of the time, but prior art search, after ideation you need to do the prior art search also. So during conceptualization you need to do the prior art search, which is you are searching internet for the existing product, services, or the situation where people have developed the solution. So you are not developing the same things again and again, and also you can learn from them. You can see the constraint, you can see the research work that they have done or world have done, so that we are not developing the reinventing the wheel again and again. So prior art search is also very important while the after the ideation and while we are having the conceptualization session. I think that helps you.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, thank
Yeah,
you
Priya.
very much, sir. And a lot of feedbacks regarding the session is in the chat box that you can see our delegates are
Yeah,
writing. Yes, sir.
I'm thank you very much for everyone for quite listening, and due to the lack of time, sometimes we are not much going deeper, but if we have a chance for deeper intervention through the workshops, maybe through Anand Pharmacy College, we would definitely interact more, and we would love to interact with all of you guys. So you have my email ID, or you can follow InnoDesk on social media, where we are putting all the information in ongoing work with the clients, with the consulting and such kind of sessions. So thank you very much,
Yes,
everyone.
definitely, sir.